Hello guys, it's me Stark and I'm here today to share a very interesting game with you. This guys is the Rage Forest. If you don't know, good players join lobbies here to play this version of Black Forest that tends to generate equal resource for both players. So, actually for both teams. So what's the idea here? You are actually gonna have some small pounds being generated in some versions of this map. And when you have a pound like this can be one of the most powerful weapons for to boost your booming here. And in this case, for example, the two teams have the same. Let's go for the Alt G so you guys can actually find ourselves a bit better here on the minimap. We have this team here, let's call it Team Somero, and the guys that are playing here are Nolo, playing as the Bengali, excellent civilization, right? Uh, Somero playing as the Dravidians, so yeah, all the India is trying to get represented here. And then we have Saracens at the other pocket for Chaos to win. And we do have another player here called Abunzwilhout, which I'm sorry, my friend, if I mispronunciated your map. But he's all, and all those guys are quite familiar with the map. They know what they're doing. It's important to state those are not random guys. They are all excellent players and know what they're doing. Then we have on the other side here ACCM. You probably know ACCM if you follow the competitive scene, and he does have a pound here. We also have Viper here playing as the Church and as his pocket, and we do have here Stake playing as the Gurcharas. The other guys here is Mununes, a very experienced player of Black Forest. Let's go over the civilizations again. We do have Bengalis, Dravidians, Saracens, and Spanish for one thing. A very good lineup. Spanish gives the trade bonus, which is insanely good for this kind of map. On the other team, we do have Vikings for ACCM, Jurchens for Viper, Gurjaras for Stake, and Monones do have the Lithuanians. I'd say that in the overall we have like Elephant Civilization, Saracen, Spanish. These 10 civilizations looks a bit better, but when you look at the players, guys like Viper, ACCM, they are quite scary ones, right? Anyway, let's see how they're actually going to play that. About the pounds. One pound is behind player number 6, the pocket here, Chaos to win. The other pound is in the middle of the frontier between player number 3, let's call him Abu, and Monunes, and so both are actually doing that, and the other pound here belongs to Mununes. But guys, there's something very interesting happening here. Both Abu and Mununes are on an infinite view war. They didn't got into an agreement about their frontiers, so they're just fighting indefinitely here to make then happen. Mununes hasn't even tried to drop his palisades. He's still just fighting. In the other side, well, ACCM is going for some very aggressive walls. Well, this one actually makes sure that he will have access to the pound. The other one is making sure that he and Viper do not get isolated or do not give this area or any of the resources here to his opponent. There are some very interesting resources to be used. As you can see, there are packs of like 3 elephants, and those can actually make like a huge boost to the economy, and all of those guys knows how to actually take those elephants. They're pretty good at it, so they can basically push all 3 elephants at once. Viper also has a pack of 3 elephants, and look how interesting. Viper has already walled some lions here, so he's even denying the lions to lame him when he goes for the elephant. As you can see, some guys are already going for the massive amount of elephants. Guys like Stake, he has actually lured most of those elephants. Guys like Viper and ACCM will probably go afterwards. Same can be said about Somero. The 3 elephants are always kind of close to a lion. As you can see, the technique to lure the elephant is pretty simple. You take one shot on each one of the elephants. If you want to stop them, you just build some building foundation on them, like Chaos Twin just did. And here he goes. He resetted, and there he comes. So basically 3 villagers, and he's using this technique of making a small palisade. So basically he's creating an obstacle, and by doing that the elephants are actually gonna stop following him. He's probably going for a viewfight or something because he did miss the elephants and they are going back to their original point. let's take a look here on Somero. Somero is doing something a bit smarter. He just shot the 3 elephants, but he's using his scout to aid the luring, so he doesn't have to build palisades or anything. The villager is not alone. The villager has the scout helping him, and this lion is actually being quite helpful because he's increasing the line of sight of the elephants, so they are probably not gonna stop chasing the villager. Lion's dead, time to kill the elephant. First elephant down, the other 2 elephants are about to go down. 3 elephants down for Somero. So that's how we lure 3 elephants, that's his technique. Viper has also done the same thing here. A bit more messy, huh? Somero feels like he knows exactly what he's doing. Viper's doing a mess here, his elephants are running back. Oh my goodness. Why are those guys playing Rage Forest? That's even fun to watch. Man, I'm having some fun watching that. The Dark Age of this map is honestly so fun to watch, at least to me. We should actually cast those maps. Anyway, Somero is going for the pound that was behind Chaos Twin, and he just said to the other pocket, hey, what about we move pounds? What about I take this pound and you take the one in the flank? So basically, they actually did this move bounce strategy. Let's follow Somero here. He's going towards the feudal age. He already has 34 population. He is making fishing ships non-stop, so his goal here is probably to go for a fish boon. ACCM got into a huge view fight, so he only has 2 fishes. So I'd say that it's probably better if the pockets use the pounds, right? Because they are probably going to have a more smooth economy here. Well, I cannot say that for Viper, but he's Jurchen, so all of his food from the elephants that he's killing is not decaying, which means that he'll have plenty of food to use before he even has to consider going for the farm. Gurjaras is playing without a pound. Mununes does have a pound, but as I said, he just engaged into like an infinite view fight with this guy, with Abu, and he barely survived. He only has, so far guys, 17 villagers, so while there are players with 34 economical units like Somero, there are some guys with only 17, so these kind of discrepancies can happen on this kind of map, which is quite interesting. Mununes also lost his scout, so even luring is not an option. His eco look like a mess, but this guy here, Abu, the Spanish guy, playing with like population 25, well, he has way more population, but he's still very behind. He didn't barely afford doing anything else, but he's actually going for the multiple lure here. As you can see, this is the hunter, and he's actually using another villager here, a fisherman or a villager that's not tasked with the hunting function, to actually create a small obstacle and help his lure to succeed. So luring the 3 boars is something, going for the pounds is also something. As you can see, Somero is on the way to the next age, guys. And since this is a very open area, he's actually sending a villager forward, and I believe that he is going to defend his allies' wall here. Defend from what, you might ask me? Well, he can actually defend this from Viper. Viper can try to push, ACCM might try to push, so having your pocket coming to defend your wall here by making some siege like mangonels is quite useful on these situations.
Yes.
Anyway, there we can see Somero, and he is already investing into his food economy now, guys. He's finishing to eat the hunt and the herdables, so there are still some sheep under his DC. There's still some berries, but he is already transitioning here into multiple fishing ships around the dock. He already has 5 fish traps, and once in Castaway, he can actually upgrade those fish traps with units so that they are actually going to deliver more resources. By the way, let's not forget that Somero is a Dravidian, so he's actually gonna gain 200 extra wood once he goes towards the next age. And there goes his boom, second TC, third TC, bow saw, so that the wood generate is gathered at a better rate, and now units, so that his fish traps and his fishing ships actually work at a better rate. So he has fully upgraded woodcutters and fully upgraded fishing ships, and this will be the core of his economy. He's not gonna go towards farms, he's not gonna invest into something like this. So you can actually go and make a small comparison with the pocket from the other side, which is Viper. Viper has 3 TCs. Since he's Jurchen and he tried to hunt everything available on the map, he's still not making farms, but he will have to make farms for his eco to actually generate something. Meanwhile, Somero did spot that there was no need for the siege, so despite having a forward villager, he's just using this villager to build houses and not mangonels. So very strategical play, something from a guy that actually knows what he's doing and actually knows what's happening here on the map. Let's continue with the boom, guys. How do you fish boom? The thing is, those 8 fishing ships together with the rest of the berries is actually keeping the TCs, and it won't have a problem to keep all of them because of the amount of food that Somero just banked. Now what he's going to do is to add multiple docks and increase the rate in which he's making the fishing ships. So his idea is probably to surround something between 4 to 5 docks all with fishing ships. Meanwhile, a lot of interesting things are happening. A lot of interesting things are happening. I was so focused on the economy that I'm not talking, but Chaos Twin actually went for a fast castle light cavalry because the pocket here, Stake, tried to hurry up and kill the guys here using both monks and a siege elephant. He went until this part of the map, breaking some walls, and Chaos Twin was actually expecting for him with light cavalry, the counter to monks and siege. So now he's not only he did that, but he's also raiding. Meanwhile, you do have this guy preparing some kind of push against ACCM. He already has 2 mangoes and a few monks, so he can actually aim to try and push ACCM with his mangoes and try to deny his fish, but ACCM was probably expecting that his fish would be target of some kind of push, so he's already dropping a castle there. Maybe perhaps ACCM could have done this castle like 2 tiles behind so that it wouldn't be taken by the enemy mango. Yeah, he does think the same, so he even deletes his castle foundation to build a new one. So Mirror is just booming, increasing the amount of fishing ships around the docks, so not only he has 3 TCs producing food, but he also has multiple docks producing fish. So that's the thing about the fish boom. If you go towards Samiro's economy, he is making his economical units 7 at a time. As for Viper, he's only making them 3 at a time because he's using town centers. So when you look on the economical stats here, Somero already has like 83 or 86 economical units, which are both villagers and fishing ships, while Viper, who's the other pocket, only has 60. So this guy has almost 50% more economy than a pocket that is not using the fish. For a similar reason, Chaos Twin actually invested here into dock, but he didn't invest into this kind of booming, and I think that one of the main reasons is he actually had to invest into army, so he couldn't invest all the resources there. He needed to already be using the resources to attack. So he's basically attacking the Berber guy. Viper was forced to use some light cavalry here to aid. So Viper is using light cavalry to aid. The Bengali player is trying to push now on this side because ACCM just blocked his access here with a castle, and since he knows that he won't be able to push with a castle, he's actually making multiple layers of walls to delay ACCM attempts to push. Monolis is finally on the castle age, starting to make his boom, so making more TCs, and he might probably try to go for some kind of fish boom as well. The issue is he's very behind everyone else because of how long the fish what? The fish boom went. Sorry, the view fight went. And there we go. Chaos to Win is coming here with both light cavalry and camels, trying to push, trying to do something. Stake is just trying to defend. After his failed attempt of monk rushing, he's like very behind the other team pocket here. And look at Somero, man. Somero is just making something obscene here. He has 5 docks almost full of fish, more than 40 fishing ships already, and he keeps making them. He is the first guy to click to Pure Age, with absolutely like no farms, and most views just directed here to both wood and gold. He's eating gold, he's eating stone, he's sending views forward. I mean, this guy can pretty much play whatever he wants here. His economy is going to allow him to play whatever he wants. And that's how he plays. He just places the fishing ship here around the dock and start placing his fish traps one by one. Fish trap, fish trap, fish trap. Beautiful to see, right? And there he goes for the elephant archers. On the other side, Abu, the player in the green color here, actually went for a fast castle into Conquistadors. Honestly, that's a great unit to push during the castle age and to pressure the map. And now they are actually trying to isolate Stake, who is the pocket here, from Mununes. He's going for a castle. This castle will allow him to pressure Mununes, and it will make very difficult for the pocket to help him. I mean, Mununes is getting like completely isolated from his ally, and this can be very dangerous because these guys can just go there, try to kill Mununes while Stake is trying to get here to help. So that's quite difficult. Meanwhile, you can see what other guys are doing. ACCM is going for multiple archer ranges, another castle, so maybe he's going for skirmishes, arbalests, I don't know. Somero is preparing his elephants, going up for this siege workshop. Viper's trying to go for something, maybe. Now a castle from the Jurchen. And there we go. This guy's pretty much making every upgrade possible. Chemistry, bracer, he's even making here banking to perhaps sling some of his allies now that he is on Imperial Age. Elite Elephant Archer upgrade is also on the way, and remember guys, he is Dravidian, so his Elephant Archers already shoot faster than the regular ones. The only thing you can upgrade using a crown for the Dravidians is actually the healing factor, an upgrade called Medical Corpse. On the other side, Chaos Turing and Abu are actually doing a great job. Munoz is smart and he's not going to die just to some Spanish castle, so he's actually producing back layers here. He's also going for some very heavy fish boom, so he's actually trying to catch up on the economy, but it will be difficult for him to catch up with guys like the Saracen, who's like fully boomed. Well, Somero is just something else here. 60 fishing ships, so this small pound is the source of enough food to support a full elephant push. 30 minutes and a half, this guy has a big pack of elite elephant archers already. What a nightmare. What's actually saving his opponent is these layers of walls here from ACCM. Viper is starting to produce some units.
Attack an enemy now.
Maybe he will go for cavarchers, maybe for skirmishers. There are some onagers. He does have to make some decisions. On the other side, the Spanish and Saracens are still pressuring. As you can see, Somero already started to boost the economy from some of his allies. In this scenario, he's actually boosting Nolos here, who's his partner. Maybe he's asking Nolo to somehow cut the walls for him, but honestly he might not even need that because he already has bomber cannons shooting these towers. On top of that, guys, this guy that has like a full economy running without like a single farm is also adding up guard towers. So not only he's pushing with siege and elite elephant archers, but he's also going to make it harder for a counterattack to take place.
Yes.
There are some strategical questions that those guys are asking for. For example, Nolo was asking Somero not to build so many archer ranges because he actually needs space to to drop his stables, so it seems like he's going to play with elephants. There he goes, starting to attack and push Viper here. There goes Samiro, doing he spotted the enemy siege workshop. He's trying to kill them using the bomber cannon. There we can see some heavy rocket carts and bomber cannons from Viper. So he has some heavy siege together with grenadiers. So heavy siege and grenadiers. Damn. He's not taking a single of those elephants, right? The first one is down. Grenadiers are shooting non-stop. Same for the heavy rocket carts, but guys, these elephants, if you do not kill them, they're just going to slowly regenerate themselves because they do have access to the medical corps. So this is such a troublesome spot here. The elephant archers are pretty much eating everything here. ACCM is trying to push the guy, using arbalests, using trebuchets. I don't know if he's gonna succeed. It doesn't feel like. Then Viper's asking for help. He's like, okay, I cannot stop those elephants. I cannot stop a booming Dravidian with more than 60 fish here. And Somero already has a full population. He's just going for upgrades for his towers, like Keep Tower, Arrow Lists. We're doing now multiple markets to start making some trade. And as you can see, the other side has already died. Stake actually allowed those guys to join his base, to push him. Saracen is completely dominating everything here using Ravi Camel Riders. Monunes is completely isolated from his allies here, so he cannot play 1 versus 2. And the elephants are just unstoppable here. There's a pack of elite elephant archers from the Dravidians together with elite battle elephants from the Bengalis. Yeah, Viper, I don't know if your skirmishers will be able to do much here, but I also consider that the fact that you are being raided already by conquistadors and camels from the Saracen, that wouldn't be viable at all. So very interesting game. ACCM will hardly lose this pound. He was even making like a lot of cannon gallons. So pushing this area could actually be very tricky to do, but honestly stopping this elephant that ball would be nearly impossible. So a lot of cool things, guys. So this is Rage Forest, very interesting games, very interesting players. This is the setting where you just put ACCM and Viper on a team and it doesn't get unbalanced. It's crazy good games. That's probably the peak team game that we have in 2025. If you guys did enjoy this kind of content, please keep me the feedback and I will just keep bringing it.